Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about Kai Greene and whether or not Kai Greene is coming back. I'm not going to talk much about Sean Roden because as far as I know there hasn't been any updates, and a little bit about William Bonac. And the thing about it is that if there ever were a good time or a great time for Kai Greene to come back and get back into the Olympia system, it would be now. Because no matter what his past was, which I think is the reason why he was not able to win the Olympia, because his past, right now would be a good time for him to get back into the system, because the Olympia and American media, I think all of those people would really overlook Kai Greene's past, because they no longer have a mass monster that's over the Olympia. Even though Sean Roden won the mass monster, but the guy was still a pretty big guy and had great detail in his body. And you got Phil Heath gone, Sean Roden gone, and you got Big Raymond not competing in 2019. So that pretty much leaves the Olympia open. And the next in line would be, like I said before, William Bonac, which if things stay like they are now, William Bonac would be the next Mr. Olympia. Now, I don't think Kai Greene would come back. I just, for some reason, I just don't believe the guy is really interested in the Olympia anymore. He kind of holds relevance in the Olympia because he was so close to being that #1 guy, and his fans are always wishing that he would come back and get that title because they feel like he deserved that Mr. Olympia title. But I think with all the other things that Kai Greene has going on, I think the guy's gonna pretty much stay with that and stay off of that roller coaster of the Olympia. And like I said before, there are no new updates that I know of on Sean Roden that I've already mentioned in a previous video. But you take William Bonac, who has separated from his training, from his trainer, Yoda Hill, and from what he's saying on his Instagram, the guy's saying that basically it's over money, and that Hill was like, from what he says, it's like he was like taking 40% of his winnings, just to train him. So that's a great deal of money to be training somebody, and at the same time, you're not doing none of the work. I think William Bonac wanted to offer him 20% of what he was making, but that was the split as far as the money is concerned. And that's the thing about today's bodybuilders. They bird nest, birds be tripping early in the morning. But anyway, that's the trouble with today's bodybuilders. They're not like the ones back then, where a lot of the bodybuilders of Lee Haney and bodybuilders of that era, those guys pretty much did their own thing. They made sure that they knew about what type of diet they wanted to be on, how it worked as best as they could, and they did their own thing. Today's bodybuilders, pretty much all of them have to have some type of trainer, because they're not willing to do what it really takes to learn the concepts of diet. They have an idea of diet, but they don't have the concepts of diets like dietitians would. And if that's your livelihood, it looked like to me that's what I would be trying to learn how to do. It's as much about diet as possible, because that would be my job. But again, today's bodybuilders don't do that, and they are pretty much under the thumb of these trainers who that's all they do is diets, makeup diets. Not necessarily they're doing these diets themselves, but just their knowledge of the diet, and they're just pretty much using their knowledge of the diet, giving it to you, and then charging you for it. So again, it would make sense to me if I'm a professional bodybuilder that I would learn how to diet, I would learn about nutrition for myself, and that would cut out the dietitian, which is, to me, is not necessary. It's not necessary unless you don't want to do the work of learning diet. But again, I can understand Williams' concern about the amount of money that he's paying this guy, because he's the top tier bodybuilder. He's one of the top tier bodybuilders, and that's a tremendous amount of money to be giving somebody just for advice. 20% is, to me, is more than fair, which is what he want to offer the guy. But we'll see. Anyway, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.